there was a black hole. So this episode of One Piece, it just really has me like, blech. Like, I honestly don't know how much longer I can consecutively and consistently review the One Piece anime the way I've been doing for the past 3 years, because episodes like this, while it did have some value to it and it had some foreshadowing and little events here and there, for the most part, it just feels like, what am I watching? Because at the end of the day, the amount of dragging scenes out and the amount of slow pacing at certain points is just like, oh my gosh. This episode adapted 15 to 16 pages of content, which is just not cutting the mustard when it comes to doing these episodes. It just isn't, because what we got in this episode, we got a little bit of foreshadowing until who the blind guy is. He creates that giant black hole, which was kind of epic. It was kind of cool, and he just like walks out and says, you know, put it on this tab, which they were adding a little bit extra filler scenes foreshadowing who he is, because at the end of the day, the opening pretty much spoils who the blind guy is anyways, but if you don't really catch on to it, then that's cool as well. And they added like little extra bits in there, but then they just dragged out scene after scene, them being in that bar. It was like you're 13 minutes into the episode, and they've only adapted 4 pages. 13 minutes, 4 pages. That's ludicrous. So, you know, while we get good stuff there, it's like everything else is just dragged out all around. You also get a little bit of what's going on. You see Zoro's sword is stolen, and he jumps out the window. And you got like a little bit, okay, there's obviously some shady shit going on. Good stuff in that aspect, but then once again, it's just dragged down. And it's just like, I can't honestly sit here and try and discuss some of the stuff when it's just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching at this point with certain episodes. There's some episodes that are really good, and I would love to talk about those episodes, or the episodes that are even just decent or interesting in a sense. But this episode, it has just like very small bits, and it's like, okay, so Luffy is aware of what the prize is now. Oh, and this blind guy, yeah, there's some foreshadowing to who he is, and he creates a big hole, which was pretty epic. And there you go. Like, there wasn't that much content to this episode, and it's just like, I don't even know what they're doing when they're adapting like 15 to 16 pages. I was hoping that the filler we got would have increased the gap, but it didn't do really anything, because we're back to the slow pacing, and it's just really a shame. I didn't enjoy this episode, and I felt like it could have had so much more. They could have done so much more. Like, they even cut out bits in the Coliseum. Like, we didn't get to find out who's fighting in the Coliseum. We didn't get to find out stuff that they kind of like left pages out that should have been adapted for this, because they want to, you know, drag the episode out again. Looking at Kinemon smiling for like, you know, 10 seconds is like, no. Overall, this episode, I give this one 3 out of 10. It had some an epic bit with the hole and stuff, and it's just like, oh, who the hell is this guy? And it had a little bit extra foreshadowing, like shady shit is going on, stuff like that. But aside from that, it's like, come on, bro. So for future references, if I end up deciding not to do the One Piece episode reviews consecutively, you guys know why. I personally just, there's some episodes where I just can't stand it, and sometimes where I'm just like, I love One Piece to death. I love the manga to death, but the anime, what they're doing with it just sometimes feels like a disappointment and a half. And this is a certain case for me. It's like cool bits with the blind guy, and, you know, Luffy learns what the prize is, but at the end of the day, that's all you really got, which is like, those are good bits, but you need a lot more, especially in a 22, 24-minute programming. Just saying. But let me know what you guys think. Did you get any idea of who the blind guy might be for anime-only viewers? Did you enjoy this episode? Me, personally, half the time I felt like I was going to pass out and fall asleep. Just being real. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for hopefully One Piece finding some solution to not dragging shit out. I don't even care. Add a ending in there just as long as the opening, and then that way we don't have to drag shit out, because they got to find some means to do something, because at the end of the day, it's like, come on, bro, really? I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.